Hello, everyone. The Owl House is back. As you can see, I came prepared. Say hi, King. Yep, just watched the first episode of the season, Separate Tides, and I'm here to share my theories slash reactions, well, mostly reactions. There was some plot in it, but I feel like it was more about the interactions between the characters. You know, that classic saying that the journey's more important than the reward. Alright, so we start off not with the scene of Luz recording a message, which is what I thought would be the first scene, but with that scene of Luz trying to catch that small demon, and we have two callbacks in one scene. This is the first scene of season 2, and we call back to the first scene of season 1 with the eat this sucker, and then the whole concept of a really small demon is introduced with a large shadow, calls back to King's introduction. Then you have the intro, and then Luz's message, where it goes on for longer than what you saw in the trailer, and like it kind of continues into what you heard in the promo. You know, he's talking about Ida and Lilith, and you know they're hanging around. Some time has passed, and you know things aren't like hostile with Lilith, although she's clearly not 100% comfortable. I mean, kind of makes sense. Ida and Lilith have a little magic left, but it's not a lot. You know, they can draw a spell circle, but nothing really comes out of it, and you see Ida like trying to lift a thing of apple blood, but then it just explodes. King, he like grabs onto Luz's leg and is like, I won't let you leave this world, and I'm just like, oh, the Boo Boo Buddies need to stay together. Oh yeah, Luz's eyes are shinier than they were in season 1. I didn't really comment on this in the trailer reaction video because I was thinking maybe that was exclusive to the like recording message, but no, it was like that for the whole episode, so good to know the art style is getting improved. I make that sound like the art style was bad before. It definitely was not. They need to take odd jobs to get money because Ida can't sell human trash anymore. I mean, I guess she still can sell whatever she has left, but she can't acquire more trash or new trash. I mean, there's always the trash slugs, which those have never fully been explained, but, you know. They're not getting a lot of money, and, you know, no one fears Ida anymore because she has no magic. And you see they're putting up new posters for the Emperor's Coven with the Golden Guard on it. More on him later. Part of me still wants to call him the I'm Tired guy, but he's the Golden Guard now. You have Ida casually mentioning that a lot of the money they're spending goes on food that Luz can digest because, you know, humans and witches have different systems. And as I theorized before, Luz was going through the big depression, going through the it's all my fault, and there's this like little guy who's like sitting next to Luz like while she's like rambling on about this, and he's just like, that's rough, buddy. And I'm like, oh, they made an Avatar reference, oh boy. Oh, that was great. Luz decides to take on the biggest bounty to make it up for Ida, because she doesn't want to feel like a burden. Lilith also wants to make it up to Ida, obviously, and she's looking in this book and she finds this recipe for this scrying spell, and she's like, if I make this potion, we can look into the Emperor's castle and spy and everything. And Hootie's there, and Lilith and Hootie's interactions are so cute. Hootie's just cute in general, hoot hoot! We know someone's gonna die this season, and I feel like Lilith should be worried. I think the chances of her pulling a heroic sacrifice to save Ida and Luz is rather high. So Luz gets on a boat, you know, she's dressed like Team Aqua. Luz is using glyphs, you know, to help her around the ship, and everyone on the crew loves her. King, he sneaks into, like, the cabin room because he wants snacks, and he finds them, and then he's just looking around and realizes that the Emperor's Coven owns the ship, and then the Golden Guard is there, and he captures King. You know, he captures in the cage that you saw in the trailer. Cut back to Lilith and Hootie, and she's heading towards these bees, because the bees, honey or venom or something, is like a component in the potion. Hootie tries to help, and Lilith is kind of mean to him, and his feelings get hurt, and she's like, I need to do this alone. The beast attacks the ship Luz is on. She fights off with some glyphs. There's like Pirates of the Caribbean-esque music playing. Someone steals the treasure that they were sent to collect, and Luz pursues them, and it turns out it was Ida who was like independently robbing ships to get money, and they both have a what are you doing here moment. Ida is mentioning that like the beast is not violent normally, and it's only attacking because ships are being sent out to attack it. The Golden Guard shows up, and he tells Luz and Ida that they need to kill the beast for him, or else he'll kill King. You know, he opens up the cage, and, you know, King's being really cute. Just I mean, when is King not cute? The Golden Guard is great. He absolutely steals the show. I still think he might be the Emperor's son just because he does magic the same way the Emperor does with, like, no spell circles, and it's weird and red. Remember in December when I said the Golden Guard was old enough to be Luz's father? I was very wrong. Luz and Ida, they go into the cave, and they get into a little argument because Luz also thinks she has to do everything alone. And Ida's like, what are you talking about? And Luz is like, it's my fault we're in this situation. You know, I shouldn't have come here to begin with. I made your life worse. And Ida's like, what are you talking about? My life has been so much better since you've been here. I was lonely before. You're not a burden. I think Luz will continue to have feelings like this in later episodes, but they probably won't be as bad as they are here. They see, like, the Beast's kid, and it's like, oh, it's a mommy. It's just trying to protect its kid. Luz is like, hey, Ida, you want to learn your first glyph? And Ida's like, yeah. So they use, like, some light glyphs and plant glyphs to pretend to kill the Beast. And, you know, it satisfies the Golden Guard. And he's like, well, you did what I'm talking about. Here's King back. I have to leave. Bye. You know, that clip of him just waving. Lilith is attacking the bees, and there's flames. And all she has is a stick. And eventually she's like, oh, I need help. And then Hootie shows up, and, you know, you have that shot of Hootie rising among the flames. And they attack, and they give each other nicknames. It's Lulu and Hootifer or Hootsifer? It might have been Hootsifer. Now I'm thinking in Echoes of the Past, maybe Hootie isn't originally supposed to come, but Lilith is like, no, I want to take him with me. We're friends now. And everyone's like, what happened with you two? The Golden Guard gets rid of the treasure with some magic, so Luz is kind of sad that, you know, it was all bust. But then the mother, it coughs up some, like, golden liquid that's, like, the equivalent of ambergris, which, whenever I think of that, I just think of that one Futurama episode. But Ida's like, oh, this stuff is valuable. We'll be good. They get back to the Owl House. Lilith shows Ida and Luz the potion, and they get spine to the Emperor's castle, and you see a bunch of guards standing around doing nothing, and it's like, yeah, this is pretty normal for them. So they all leave, and the camera pans over to the potion, and we see into the castle, and we see the shot of Bellows working on the door, and, you know, with his long hair. So the shot of him working on the door and the shot of him putting the key in the door are not connected, which the trailer made it seem like they are. So, but, you know, it's just the really creepy ending where he's just like, knock, knock. And I'm like, So yeah, that was Separate Tides. Nothing extremely fancy, but, you know, it's not filler, obviously. Next week's episode is going to be a rush because, you know, we have Amity and her parents and a whole lot of drama. I think next episode is going to be a lot of drama. You probably know that the episode titles of the first season, like if you take the first letter of each episode, it spells out an acronym, a witch loses a true way. So far we know the first 8 episode titles of season 2, which so far spells Seek the K. Unfortunately, it is not Seek the King of Demons because that is not enough letters. It has to be 21. Back when we only knew the first 5 letters, some people were thinking it was Seek the Good Witch Azura, but now we know that doesn't fit. So, Seek the K. You know, what do you think it might be? Is it like Seek the Keeper of Demons, or I don't know. What do you think it might stand for? Remember, it has to be 21 letters. Little announcement, I will not be here next week. I am going on vacation. I still will be watching the episode. I will be recording a video, but it will just be me sitting in a hotel room, just recording with my phone. No edits, no clips. I'll probably make a bunch of mistakes that I can't edit out, but I don't want to rob you guys of my commentary just because I'm on vacation. I mean, it's going to be no edits. You know, I could use a video editor on my phone, but I don't want to take away from my vacation time to do that when, you know, I could just record for like 10, 15 minutes and be done. You know, it'll be awkward, but I'll see you then.